Good morning and welcome back to the FPL Tom YouTube channel. Game week 15 deadline is here and there's a lot to talk about. It looks like the Liverpool versus Everton game at 12:30 in the early kickoff potentially could be postponed. Apparently there is a Premier League meeting at 8:30 to decide what to do with this game and whether or not to make sure it goes ahead or of course to call it off. And obviously that is going to have big ramifications for FPL and obviously our captains, our transfers, everything like that. It also means potentially double game weeks further down the line, as well as obviously more games potentially could be called off this weekend if of course this storm does get any worse. I've had reports from Jake as well, who obviously, if you know who he is, and we do the deadline preview streams together, we did one yesterday. He said the weather in Liverpool at the moment is pretty bad, and also to go along with that as well, Aintree races, which is roughly on the outskirts of Liverpool, probably maybe like 10-15 minutes away from where Goodison Park is. They've postponed today's races, not because of obviously the track and stuff like that, but purely because of people's safety. And I imagine that is probably what the Liverpool game is going to come down to as well. It's actually not going to be the pitch itself. It's actually going to be the kind of the safety of the people getting to the game and stuff like that. So yeah, there we go. There we go. So lots to talk about. Lots to talk about as always. So yeah, get your questions in, guys. Like I said, lots happening. Lots happening this morning. Obviously, we'll try and keep you across if the game is postponed at 8:30. But obviously, I think with Aintree races, if you didn't know, is in Liverpool and is very, very close to Goodison Park. So yeah, that getting cancelled probably means that I reckon this Liverpool game's going to go. But yeah, there's apparently a meeting at 8:30, so we'll let me know. We'll let you guys know. People are asking what's happening. Yeah, like I said, the Liverpool game potentially could be postponed. Let me bring up the tweet very quickly for you guys. Obviously, I'll get round to your guys' questions. I can already see we've got Jamie in the chat as well. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing good. A few people ask how I'm doing. I'm doing good, guys. I hope you're doing good as well. Ahead of another exciting FPL game week. Let me try and find that tweet that I just saw. Here it is. So this is the one. So the races has been postponed due to the gales at Aintree. And if you don't know where Aintree is, it's in Liverpool. So that for me is probably not a good sign for the Liverpool game going ahead today. Again, it is going to be because of people's safety and stuff like that rather than the pitch and stuff like that. So pretty much everybody today on Twitter is just going to be doing weather forecasts. Like I said, apparently there is a Premier League meeting at 8:30. Sorry, apparently there's a Premier League meeting. I saw that on Twitter earlier as when I woke up. So yeah, apparently there's a Premier League meeting 8:30. We're going to find out some information apparently whether or not this game is going to go ahead. So I think, you know, transfer-wise, I would just be holding back, especially if you're looking to bring a player in that early game. Captaincy-wise as well, I would say it's very, very important that you've got a vice-captain ready for this game week, to be honest. So, yeah, make sure you've got a decent vice-captain. Who am I going to captain? I am going to captain Palmer. If not, I was really, really tempted with Palmer. I was thinking about it last night. I just had a feeling that, like that Liverpool game, the wind, the conditions and stuff like that, I thought that honks of like a 0-0 written all over it. So I was thinking, yeah, Cole Palmer's probably going to be the one with that ropey Spurs defence. I thought, yeah, that would be the fixture I want to go for. That would be the one. When am I doing team reviews? We'll get team reviews done, I reckon, 9 o'clock. Because there's no point really me doing team reviews at this point in time when we know potentially the Liverpool game might not go ahead. So if we know the Liverpool game's going ahead or not going ahead after that supposed meeting at 8:30, then I think we can do team reviews and obviously give you guys better feedback. Of course, if you are enjoying today's stream, make sure you are liking, subscribing, all that good stuff. It does push it out to more people, and that is exactly what we want for the channel, as well as we are trying to hit 11,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Force on a cheeky Jackson capped. I mean, he had his break, didn't he? He did have his break and obviously had a pretty good game against, what's it called? Had a pretty good game against Spurs last season, but I know they were like down to like 8 by the end, weren't they? Am I going to do some EFL Fantasy too? Yeah, I completely forgot about it this week, to be honest. I'll speak about it in little brief bits, but obviously with the situation around the Liverpool game, that's probably going to take most precedence this week. Yeah, Merseyside Derby news. I'm going to quickly whack a message in the chat and then obviously pin it as well. Aintree Races has been cancelled, which if you don't know is in Liverpool. And yeah, pretty much there's apparently a meeting at 8:30, which is in around an hour's time, where we will find out some more information whether or not this game is going to go ahead. So yeah, lots to potentially ponder on that one. Obviously, I've got a poll going around in the chat as well. Do you think the game will go ahead? 57% of you are saying yes, 40% say no, 4% of you say you don't care. So I'm guessing a lot of you don't have Mohamed Salah in that 4% don't care. Andy's in the chat as well. Hope you're doing good, my friend. Rogers, Son, Wood, JP, who to start? I think I probably would be benching Wood out of all of those if I had to pick one. Colwell, Gavardiol, Burn, 3 to start. I would probably go Colwell, Gavardiol, Konza. Yeah, I wouldn't go near Burn. Obviously, Brentford, highest scoring team at home this season. So yeah, I wouldn't be going near that one. Yes, my transfer plans are a little bit up in the air. Obviously, if you were in the deadline preview stream yesterday, you know I was running for a few things in my mind, to be honest. We've got 2 free transfers. Obviously, Mykolenko is a player we need to take out for this game week. So I was looking at Trent. And obviously, whether or not that game goes ahead now, we're going to have to wait and see. So Trent might not be coming into the team. And we actually might be getting potentially, you know, somebody like a Kirkes or someone like that. And Buemo's also a problem, so he might become Semenyo. I've also looked at Bowen, Gordon. I'm just not really impressed by any of the midfield options. Somebody that is really interesting me, though, is, of course, Alexander Isak up front. I genuinely think the run coming up for Newcastle is stupendous. His XG numbers have been pretty decent. But do I want to take out Visser at a home fixture? It's honestly so difficult. Like, I could realistically roll. We could just do the Kirkes to Mykolenko move. Maybe bring Visser in instead of Mbuemo. Play with that and hope for the best. Because I'm not 100% sure on anything. Or I could be a little bit ballsy. Do the moves that I want to do. And maybe see. It's just that midfield spot. Like, the replacements for Mbuemo don't excite me. There's nobody there that I'm, like, absolutely desperate to bring into the side. Nobody that I really like want either. You know what I mean? There's nobody that I'm like, oh yeah, I'd absolutely love to have it. So that's my thoughts on my transfers. Yeah, Jamie's got the right idea. Apparently there is going to be a update from the Premier League at 8:30 regarding this game. Oh, Andy said he got Trent yesterday. Oh mate, that's so unfortunate. That is so unfortunate. Unlucky on that one. I thought I was cooking and I've been cooked forever. I transfer in Virgil and Trent and Virgil yesterday. I swear if this game get cancelled, yeah, I think it probably will. That's my thought process. It probably will, or maybe they might. I don't even think they can move it like 24 hours and stuff with Liverpool's like Champions League arrangements. So yeah, I reckon this game's cooked, absolutely cooked for this week. By the way, of course, if you are enjoying today's stream, make sure you are hitting that like button. It does push it out to more people. Of course, hit that subscribe button as well, as we are trying to hit 11,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And it's only possible with your guys' amazing support. Gavardiol to Saliba and Jackson to Isak for 2 free transfers. I don't know. I don't know if I'd be... I like the Gavardiol to Saliba one. I get it, but would I be doing that ahead of Crystal Palace? Probably not. Jackson to Isak as well. Tottenham, that ropey defence. I don't know if I'd do those moves. I'd maybe give it one more week with both players. Hey, Ben, it's not a clickbait title, mate. It ain't a clickbait title. The game's going to get postponed. I'm telling you right now. It is going to get postponed. And I'm not the only one. I genuinely am not the only one. So... why is the game getting postponed? There is currently a storm hitting the UK, especially kind of the southwest of England, large parts of Ireland as well, and stuff like that. They're kind of taking the brunt of it. And it's not going to be because of a waterlogged pitch or anything like that. It is purely going to be because people can't get to the game because there's like trees and rubbish in the road. That's what it's going to be. Does this mean a double game week? Yes. If this game is cancelled, it will go into another game week, probably some point next year, and then they'll have to play a double game week. So good for Liverpool assets, good for Mohamed Salah. There we go. Yeah. It depends where that game falls. Like if it's City and Everton away, maybe a little bit less tempted. But yeah, obviously we were always going to get double game weeks this season, but we were going to get a lot less. This now being in place, if it does happen, would mean a hell of a lot more double game weeks. Yes, I will be captaining Palmer if I don't captain Mohamed Salah. We'll get another poll going around in the chat in a little bit. We'll do another poll around 8 o'clock-ish, asking who you think are the best captains instead of Mohamed Salah. So, Palmer, Saka. I think if you've got Haaland, this is a great week for captaincy now if this Liverpool game's postponed, to be honest. Obviously, if you've got Watkins as well, I think you can take a bit of a punt. I mean, Saka or Palmer for me has to be the captaincy options. But of course, we do have Erling Haaland for those people that have kept him. They've got a decent fixture against Crystal Palace. It's not a bad fixture. Let's have a look at the betting data as well. Here it is. So like I said, the Liverpool game is arguably a good, if it goes ahead, is a great fixture to be captain Mohamed Salah. No doubt about it. I think that's a pretty easy captaincy decision. Of course, if the game doesn't go ahead, we've then got Villa with the best projected goals. So if you've got Watkins, could be a great shout. Obviously, Arsenal, decent projected goals. Looks like it could be a goal fest between Tottenham and Chelsea as well this week. And then we've got, where are they? City, 2.05 projected goals against Crystal Palace as well. Only a 13% chance of a clean sheet for the Eagles as well. So, you know what? It's one of those, isn't it? It is one of those where, yeah, like there's some tasty captaincy options if this Liverpool game does go. There really, really is this week. And a lot of people won't be switched onto it. A lot of people won't even look. So, yeah. Yep, thank you very much for the update there, Pete's Pies. We went for it a little bit earlier on Twitter as well, the old Aintree one. But, yeah, cheers, mate. And obviously that's quite close, isn't it, to Goodison. It's not too far. So I reckon with that going, probably this Liverpool game is going to be going as well. Would you free hit? Oh, good question this week. Would I free hit if I had a lot of Liverpool and Everton players? Maybe. It could genuinely be one of those weeks where there could be a lot of scope. Because realistically, you want Salah and all the Liverpool players back next week. Because they've still got, decent fixtures, all that stuff. A free hit could be a really, really tempting one. You could have a lot of Villa players in there. Few Bournemouth players. Obviously, Arsenal. Obviously, backing them quite heavily. I would have Cole Palmer and maybe Nicholas Jackson as well. Somebody like an Alexander Isak. Yeah, free hit could be very, very tempting this week, to be honest. It could be one of those weeks where a free hit does come through. FPL Worm says he's going Palmer either way, even if there's a game or not. Fair enough, mate. I was thinking a little bit about it last night. I just didn't have, I thought if the game's really, really bad in terms of conditions, is Salah going to be able to play or are Liverpool going to be able to play? I think a more up in the air kind of situation would suit somebody like an Everton, where they're just going to be sitting back, launching the ball in the air, not really playing football. And I think the conditions would suit Sean Dyche a lot better than Arne Slot and Liverpool. So, yeah, that's the way I'd be thinking on that one. But yeah, I have been tempted by it. I can't lie to you guys. Do you think João Pedro outscores Rodgers? It's so tough, honestly. Genuinely so tough. There is question marks around whether or not Rodgers plays. I think he will play, but there are question marks about that. It's so tough, man. It is so tough. I would say Southampton are a worse defence. Villa being at home, so I probably would back Rodgers more than João Pedro. I have Semenyo and Nuri coming in for Salah and Gomez. It's not the worst, mate. That's genuinely not the worst. I wouldn't worry too much about that. They're fine players. Obviously not of the same calibre as Mohamed Salah, but still very, very fine players. Villa might get called off. Slim chance. Depends what the weather's like, doesn't it? And how the situations are happening, but we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, 100%, 100%. Obviously, Jake's been kind of beating the drum over the past few weeks as well. Not only in terms of the streams, but in just chatting to him as well, saying, you know, these games against Everton, they're usually pretty cagey. There's not really too much going off. And obviously last season, Everton won. And obviously with it being the final game at Goodison as well, you would feel like they'd want to win that one. You would feel like they want to go for that one. I'm getting Wood on for Salah. Is that good enough? I think it's a tough one. It is a tough one because I don't think United are great. I genuinely don't, but I think there could be more interesting striker options this week. Bench Rodgers or João Pedro, leaning towards benching Rodgers because I reckon he's high chance of not starting due to the amount of minutes he played last week. Very valid shout, and if you've got that feeling, go for it. There was talk, obviously, pre-game midweek around Emi Buendia taking minutes off Rodgers, but it is that Southampton game that is so tight and tempting, isn't it? Tony has said it's very calm in Liverpool. I've heard otherwise, Tony, from my man on the ground in Liverpool, who's giving me weather updates. I'll ask him for another one. Any update on the weather? There we go. We got our man on the ground. We'll see if we can get him to hop in the chat. Give us some weather updates. Andy's really big on the Damsgaard punt, aren't you, mate? I've seen you talking about this one quite a bit. I have seen you talking about this one quite a bit. Obviously, for people that are just joining the chat, first off, make sure you're hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. We are trying to hit 11,000 subscribers by the end of this year. But obviously, the Liverpool game, there is apparently a Premier League meeting at 8:30 that will be deciding whether or not this game goes ahead. So I imagine around 8:30, 9 o'clock, we're probably going to be getting news of that that potential postponement or potential game going ahead. Of course, we'll be doing team reviews as always, but we are going to push those back till we find out the information because it's pretty much pointless me saying, you know, captain this player, bring in this player, if obviously the game goes ahead or if the game doesn't go ahead. So yeah, we're going to have to wait. Yes, the postponement will be before the deadline. It'd be too close if it is for people travelling and stuff like that. So yeah, they won't do that one. But yeah, make sure you're getting your teams sent in. As always, like I said, the big news that I think is probably going to lead to that postponement is this one here. Aintree's Racing has been postponed today. Again, that is extremely close to Goodison Park. So yeah, pretty much that I think for me is probably going to confirm the end of this game. The fact there's a meeting as well, yeah, I think it's probably going to be binned. With the potential game cancellation, if no matter what, but João Pedro, Semenyo, Visser, bench one. I think fixture-wise, you would have to bench Visser. But he's at home, and his home fixtures are ridiculous. Genuinely ridiculous, aren't they? Like, he is just exceptional at home. Let me bring up his data very quickly. Let's have a look. So, yeah, home fixture against Leicester, goal. Really, really good underlying data. Bournemouth at home, 13-pointer. Ipswich at home, 10-pointer. This is all since he's been back, by the way. Other games this season as well, at home. Southampton at home, ridiculous. Crystal Palace at home, ridiculous. Like, what am I doing not playing this guy, by the way? What am I not doing? And it looks like 71, 90, 71, 90, 70. So roughly, I reckon Johan Visser probably going to play full 90 minutes against Newcastle, looking at this. And probably will get a goal involvement if we're going off what's previously happened. Obviously, the Villa game was massively disappointing for him. Didn't really create too much. But as we can see, the home fixtures for not only Brentford, but for him as well, they're just goal fests. Genuinely, on paper, they're just goal fests. So I think this is controversial and could lead, you know, a benching for Brian. A benching for Brian and Mbeumo, which is pretty wild to say, right? Then we might just do a defensive transfer and roll 2 into next week. We genuinely might. Because I think the rest of the team's fine. Obviously, we're keeping him till probably game week 18. Visser is a problem for next week. So is Brian and Buemo. But we'll have 2 free transfers to assess the situation. See which players we really, really want to bring in. Mikolenko's got to go this week, though. Like, that run is horrific. Don't really fancy playing Aina against United. So, yeah. What are the clean sheet odds for that one? Let me have a quick look. 15%. And I'm bringing in a Bournemouth player who's at 28%. Yeah. Harry said, does this mean a double game week? If the game is postponed, definitely going to mean a double game week. They're not going to have time to put this fixture back in for this weekend. It's just not going to happen. Jamie's got the right idea as well. Make sure you are hitting that like button, subscribing, all that good stuff as always on the channel. Also just brought Trent in. Oh, mate, that's a stinger. Interesting update. Where did they tweet that? On Twitter? Let's have a look. Let's head to that. Everton. The last thing they posted was 10 hours ago on Twitter. So I don't know where you're hearing that, but they've not posted on their Twitter for 10 hours. Yeah, he does score his goals early. He really, really does score his goals early. Let's take a look then at some other players that we potentially might be bringing in. The top projected goal scorers. Obviously, I spoke about Watkins potentially being a good differential captain if this Liverpool game, of course, is postponed. Haaland as well, another absolutely cracking option that we potentially could be looking at. I think could be a mega differential captain this game week for people that are obviously thinking about it. Salah is there, obviously, if the game goes ahead, so still a pretty decent captaincy option. Palmer and Isak as well, looking pretty tasty. João Pedro, Jackson. I think once we're getting past that point, though, we're starting to delve in a little bit to the kind of lesser picks for me personally. But everybody else on this list looking really, really tasty, as always. Right, I'm going to go quickly check the Everton website, because there is absolutely nish all on their, what's it called? Right, news. I mean, that was 15 hours ago. Let me bring it up for you guys. So that was 15 hours ago, and a lot can change in that time. Supporters attending Saturday's Merseyside derby at Goodison are advised to allow extra time for travel and remain alert to the Met Office weather warnings. An amber service warning has been issued from Saturday 1 AM, gusts likely at 60-70 miles an hour. The wind is expected to remain in place till 6 AM Sunday. Fans are advised to allow extra time for kickoff. There we go. So that was 15 hours ago on their website, and since then, obviously, we've had the postponements to the racing. So yeah, I think, for me personally, I still think it's not going to go ahead. That is yesterday's news. Yep, literally. What's my thoughts on Alex Iwobi? I think he could be a decent pickup. Like, he's getting in the right positions and looking really, really good. But, of course, the Fulham fixtures for the next few are a little bit difficult. So probably wouldn't be going for it. What goalkeepers do I like the most? I need a replacement for Pickford. Raya. Genuinely, Raya. Onan is also a great shout. Like, he's been really, really consistent so far this season. Is he currently the highest scoring goalkeeper in the game as well? The 4.5s, you could go for one of them, but again, they're so hit and miss this season. Genuinely so hit and miss. It's all over the gaff with those guys, so probably going to be a little bit of a problem, isn't it? Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Any that you do have relating to your team, let me know in the chat. Of course, do keep me across any updates if they do come in. Obviously, I'll be kind of scouring Twitter as we're talking to you guys. If it's cancelled, when do you think it will be played? Probably second half of the year. The Premier League will have to wait for FA Cup results, of course, Champions League qualification and stuff like that. Depending where Liverpool finish in the group and stuff like that, to try and get this fixture in. Obviously, see what's happening with both teams in the FA Cup, like I said as well. So yeah, they're going to have to wait for quite a bit of information before it's planned in. Of course, the best person who will know all this stuff will be Ben Krellin, so make sure you're going and following him over on Twitter. As soon as this game gets confirmed postponed, I guarantee he'll probably have a decent chance of knowing when this game will be back in. What happened to the Liverpool game? It is currently going ahead, but there's, I would say, a high probability it's probably going to get cancelled. Aintree Racing, which is roughly around 10 minutes away, has been cancelled. There's going to be a Premier League meeting around 8:30 as well to decide what to do with this game. Yes, I will be doing team reviews on Twitter. We'll be doing those around about 9ish. Obviously, I want to wait for team news because I feel right now without team news, it's a little bit redundant kind of doing these updates. Because I could say to you guys, like, I'll go and bring Trent in because I think he is a good player to go and bring in. But of course, if the game's not going ahead, then it's not a good move, if you see what I mean. So I want to wait, get all the information we can, and then start giving you guys the team reviews that I think will help you the most. That's my plan anyway. That is my plan. Of course, if you are enjoying today's stream, make sure you are liking it, hitting that subscribe button as well. Massively appreciated, as always, by myself. Oh yeah, if you wanna send them over to me, mate, just leave them under one of my most recent tweets, or of course mention me. Make sure you are following me as well over on Twitter because sometimes they don't pull through. There you go. Yeah, that's what I mean. I think even if the game does go ahead, I do feel like Salah loses a bit of captaincy appeal with the weather conditions. I never ever thought I'd say that weather would affect my decisions in FPL, but I think it could. I think it really, really could because, of course, sorry, couldn't speak. But of course, I think that weather style will just suit Everton more. I've watched games right at Mansfield, and I know this is different levels, but we've played some absolutely terrible teams in terrible conditions, and you just can't play proper football. You have to play in the air. Muck ball, which will just suit Everton's style of play and Dyche. It'll suit him down to a ground. It really, really will. My team this week. Savinho. Ooh, okay. Benching Jackson over Savinho could be a big mistake for me personally, mate. Spurs have got a pretty wobbly back line at the moment, so yeah, there's a lot of injuries within that Spurs back line, so I don't know necessarily if I'd do that one. I haven't seen anything on the United one. I'm not 100% sure what the weather's like in Manchester. I know obviously they're quite close, but yeah, could be one that obviously maybe be affected as well. I know Sean, who obviously, if you've never watched any of the second channel content, Sean is out there to the game today, so hopefully it goes ahead for his sake. I really, really do hope so. Speaking of the second channel as well, we do have content coming back, which is great. I am actually planning on going to a game today. I'm going to the Leeds Derby game. Of course, weather dependent, whether or not that one actually takes place, but the weather here seems pretty calm, to be honest. I think it's probably just started raining, but there's not really any kind of severe winds or anything like that that could obviously lead to the cancellation of the game. Yeah, just says it's a bit drizzly. Not really windy, just a bit drizzly. Of course, though, the map on the weather forecast does not look great. I'm just watching it now, and it's just like, comes in, rain. What does the dark red 5 or green 2 mean, for example? Is that the expected difficulty or projected points? That is the expected difficulty. So the darker the red, the worse the fixture. There you go. No, I expect Jackson to play this game. He has been so good for them. So I expect him to be in the starting lineup, to be honest. I just do. Yeah, I expect Jackson to be in that starting lineup, so I won't worry too much about that one. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Any do you have relating to your team? Let me know in the chat. Let me know if you think the game is, of course, going to go ahead today as well. Why did I bench Mbuemo? I benched Mbuemo purely down to the fact of Vissa's home record and the positions that Mbuemo's been playing recently. If you look at his underlying data, it is absolutely niche. Like, look at that. 0.21, 0.08, 0.012, 0.34. Since this Ipswich game here, nothing. Absolutely nothing in terms of creativity for Brian. Genuinely terrible. So that's why we're benching him. Obviously, we're still waiting for news on this Liverpool game. That could change absolutely everything. See if there's any further updates. Yeah, FPL Raptors in very, very similar thing to me. Even if we are captain it, are we gonna be sure that Salah's gonna perform in those sort of conditions? FPL Vocal as well has just tweeted saying, officials are meeting now to decide whether Everton versus Liverpool will need to be postponed. We should know within the next hour. Trent got a rise as well last night. So did Isaac. João Pedro got a rise as well. Cliver, Gomez. Kirk has another rise. Jesus. Falls are Raul, Edison. Yeah, no one really of interest in there. But yeah, we'll try and keep you across all the news and stuff like that. You think Palmer Vice is better than Saka? I do. Considering the shakiness of that Spurs back line. What time will we know if the Merseyside derby is off? Like I said, the Premier League officials are meeting now, so I reckon within the next hour, probably by 9 o'clock, we're probably going to have a good understanding. No, it doesn't. I probably would bench Wood, mate. Probably would bench Wood out of those lot. Thoughts on a vice captain Bowen, as he will probably be less affected by the weather because he has the latest kickoff. True, but I think I'd probably still go for somebody like a Palmer, a Saka, somebody like that. The weather for Sunday's games is going to die down. Konza or Kirkes? Probably going to be Kirkes going forward. Villa can't keep clean sheets. Hi Tom, any idea if any other Premiership matches may be pulled? Not as yet. Someone said maybe the United game today could be affected, but I haven't seen anything, so I'm not going to allude to anything. But of course, there could be other ones that do go as well. Who am I captaining? Currently got it on Salah. Of course, if that game doesn't go ahead, we're going to go for Palmer. Yeah, I got asked this question about Kwanzaa and Gomez yesterday. Obviously, Joe Gomez was not a great game for him midweek, was it? So maybe Kwanzaa does go back in at centre-back. Who knows? It very easily could happen. But obviously, the last time he played there, I think, was in a Carabao Cup game. And I think he scored an own goal, if I'm not mistaken. So again, his last record playing centre-back as well is not great. Do you think in a chase of chasing points, I captain other than Salah to? I think you could. I genuinely think you could captain somebody else this week. Like, even if the Liverpool game goes ahead, right? Those weather conditions are gonna not favour nice football, are they? They're just not gonna favour nice football. They're not. It's the way it goes. Bench one of Digne, Aït-Nouri and Lewis. Probably would be tempted with Aït-Nouri. The clean sheet odds are terrible. Terrible. Genuinely terrible. Major TC for Haaland. I won't go for a major TC for Haaland, mate. I won't go for it. My captain is Palmer with Haaland Vice. Nice. That's all good then. I still wouldn't go for a TC though. Oliver, that looks like a pretty decent team to me. That looks like a pretty good team to me. Let's have a look if we've still got any other further updates. doesn't look like we've got anything else yet. But obviously, Premier League officials are meeting now whether or not to decide what to do with this game. If you didn't know, Aintree Races has been postponed for today, which is about 10 minutes away from Goodison. So, yeah. I mean, Doyle, if you want to call me out, mate, let's go for it. Let's go for it. You know what I mean? Let's have it out in the chat. Let's go for it. No, Premier League officials are meeting now, so we'll have to just wait and see. I think Watkins could be the one this week. Really, Watkins could be the one that could have it all. I mean, if you've got Haaland, Watkins, they could be decent shouts for captaincy this week. Who is the best alternative for Smith Rowe, and what do you think about getting rid of Aït-Nouri for a -4? I wouldn't probably get Aït-Nouri. I wouldn't get rid of him because purely they're playing Ipswich and Leicester. Gary O'Neill might go after this game. They've got two, arguably, of the worst teams in the league. So yeah, I wouldn't probably get rid of him. Wouldn't probably get rid of him there. If it's postponed, will it blank? What do you mean? If it's postponed, it'll blank? Yeah, they won't play. They won't play this game week. Liverpool's Twitter just posted its match day. I mean, that's fair to them. Let's have a look. Liverpool. Yeah, I mean, they posted this an hour ago. Obviously, we're still going to wait for updates. Like, they'll just be posting that because they need to. They've still got to build up to the game regardless, haven't they, really? But like I said, Premier League officials are meeting now, and we're going to have to wait and see for anything. Yeah, Jamie, you got the right idea. He clicked it. He got bought in by it. And then he's just salty and cried. So, yeah, there we go. Aït-Nouri or Colwell. I think with the clean sheet odds being so low for Colwell this week, I'd probably take a gamble on Aït-Nouri, you know. Saka or Palmer cap? I probably would go Palmer cap. Yeah, I probably would go Palmer cap on that one. Who is the best Smith Rowe alternative? Good question. Good question. We'll take a look. We'll take a look for you, my friend. I probably would actually say Semenyo. Semenyo or Rodgers for me personally, if you're looking in that cheaper price bracket. Enzo could also be an option, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. Jay, thank you very much for the generous donation, my friend. Really, really appreciate that one. Morning, bud. Bench one of Bowen, Pedro, Jackson, Cunha and Rodgers. No idea what to do. Also been thinking of using my 1-free transfer being Raya for Hendo. I'm not a big fan of goalkeeper transfers, as you know, but I do like that move with the strong projected clean sheet data coming up for Arsenal and for Raya as well. It gives you a way into that Arsenal back line. As we can see here, some great fixtures. Like, if you bring Raya in, you're keeping him all season, really. You are. So you've got yourself a pretty good goalkeeper that does score quite decently. Arsenal as well seem to be looking back to their best. I would just say though that I think with Arsenal scoring a lot of corners, probably means he's less likely to get some bonus as well. The benching headache though is ridiculous. Mate, that is tough. That is really, really tough. I think I genuinely, for me, I would probably bench Rodgers or Cunha. The reason I say Cunha is recently, the past 3 games here, I know that one was a little bit of a fluke, but if you're looking at his data, it's not good, especially these last 2 games. It's been woeful. It's genuinely been woeful. Now, Either manager are playing for their jobs on the line, so you never know what could happen in that game. But there's something to think about. And then Rodgers could see a benching. I'm just outlining that one. So for me, it is going to be Cunha or Rodgers I probably would give the boot to. That's probably the way I'd go with that one. But yeah, that's a real big benching headache. But thank you very much for the generous donation, my friend. Really appreciate that. How is this team? Raya, Colwell, Gvardiol, Konza, Son, Salah, Saka, Rodgers, yeah, it's fine. Seems decent. Is Bowen the best Mbeumo replacement, especially minutes-wise? Just finding it very hard to get excited about a West Ham player. Yeah, I had that problem last week. I wasn't feeling it. I really wasn't feeling it. So yeah, I 100% understand. But if they do, of course, sack Lopetegui, we do get a little bit more excited. Probably do. Oliver, it will fully be El Sacchio, won't it? It fully will. Yeah, Alisson could be a decent shout as well when he's back fully fit and available as well. He actually does pick up quite a few more saves, doesn't he? Than the likes of Raya and Edison within that premium goalkeeper market. Should I start the Liverpool players? Yes, we're going to definitely get news pre-deadline. I'm telling you that now. We'll get news whether or not that game is going ahead or not going ahead pre-deadline. Start Rico Lewis or 8 Nuri. Ooh, I probably would go Rico Lewis. Probably would go Rico Lewis, you know. Probably go Rico Lewis. I actually thought Jarrod Bowen had a really good game. Very unfortunate not to have came away with an attacking return against Leicester for me personally. Just going to say it. Right, let's have a quick snoop around on Twitter. See what's happening. See if we've got any further updates. Yeah, Harry's got the right idea. He needs to know if they're going to make a decision or not. Let's have a look. So yeah, we're probably going to find out within the next hour or so. So then I'll start doing team reviews once, of course, we've got all that in. Because, like I said, there's no real point to me helping you guys out or giving you advice if, of course, the games don't go ahead. You know what I mean? I'm watching this game. It's going to be a fun watch. Yeah, it is going to be a fun watch, mate. It is going to be a fun watch. Of course, if you are enjoying today's stream, make sure you are getting your like buttons in, your subscribes, all that good stuff. All that good stuff. Right, we're going to end that poll. 63% of you do believe the Liverpool game is going to go ahead. 29% said no. And then 8% of you said you don't really care. So yeah, let's get another poll going. Right, we've just got another poll going around on the chat, so make sure you're getting your votes in for that one. The best cap if the Liverpool game is off. I'm very interested to find out who you guys are thinking about potentially captaining if that Liverpool game is off. Palmer, Saka, Haaland or Watkins? Let me know in the chat. Any news on the United lineup? Nothing to be honest, mate. With it being the late kickoff as well, we're not going to get anything sort of concrete, so you're probably basing your judgments off predicted lineups and stuff like that. I'll do the mess around. Yeah, Oliver's got the right idea. We're not going to get any sort of early team news with the game being that late on. Looking at the early poll results, it is looking like Cole Palmer's probably stealing it, to be honest, in terms of those early captaincy ones. Bruno captain, someone said. Maybe. Forest got absolutely dismantled against City. I think Wolves versus West Ham is going to be a cagey, but neither team can keep a clean sheet. Does it matter? I think both teams need the win, really, to keep the manager in the job, don't they? So I think it's probably going to be a little bit of a goal fest. Because as soon as one goes 1-0 down, they're going, right, my job's on the line here. I've got to chuck everything at it. No, the Liverpool game is not postponed yet. I actually should change that to a question mark. I should change that to a question mark. Let me quickly change that. I've just realised it's an exclamation mark. I didn't mean to put an exclamation mark. I meant to put a question mark. Whoops. Slam that like button. Yep. Jamie's got the idea. I'm afraid that Watkins or Rodgers may be rested. Too risky for captain, in my opinion. I think they could be decent shots, but I also get what you're saying. They've got Champions League midweek as well, so there could be a risk of rotation. But it would be a super differential. Looking like the Palmer hype is a little bit cooling on the old poll. I can't get my words out there. I am being a clickbaity boy, George. You know me. Got to get those views in somehow. Start 2 of Rodgers, Cunha and João Pedro. I think, for me, it comes down to Rodgers or Cunha. We had this earlier with the Super Chat as well. I think Rodgers could see some benchings. Could be one that could get benched. Or Cunha's data is terrible. Oh, is it auto-corrected? It has auto-corrected. Whoops. Sorry. Let me adjust the title. Give me a second. I only just know. Yeah, it's one of those words that until you see it, you don't really know how to spell it. Where's the content? Hang on, let me have a look. Here it is. Right, we're gonna quickly change that. So it's postponed. NDE. Like that? No. Right. POS. PON. Postponed. Is that the word? Is that the right word? It doesn't look like a word. Let's have a look. Past tense postponed. 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 Now we're having debates on how to spell postponed. Right, I think that's how you spell it. I'm just whacking it into Google now. This is what this chat has come to, by the way. Me Googling the word postponed. There we go. There we go. That should have sorted it now. There we go. Everybody happy now? Should have just gone with game off. That's what Gianni's gone for. He's just gone for game off. That was the easier way to do it, wasn't it? Just go game off and then you're fine. Take the D out. I always love to take the D out. Come on. Apparently there might have been an update on Twitter. Here we go. Oh, okay. Here we go. Might be fucking back changing the title again. FPL Rockstar, who usually is the man with Liverpool team news, has just said the Merseyside derby needs a rest. And Merseyrail have cancelled some trains. Obstruction on the track. This is what I was saying to you guys. It's not going to be because the pitch itself is finished. It's actually because of the traffic and stuff like that. So yeah, there you go. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. It is not looking good. By the way, obviously, if you guys are, I imagine quite a lot of you, watch Golden Goals content. He's just started a new second channel as well, helping people with their YouTube coaching and getting them off the ground. So fair play to him. And yeah, I'm sure we'll probably be watching his content, trying to help us get there as well. But yeah, it's really, really not looking good, is it, for this game now going ahead? But yeah, the Merseyside derby needs a rest. Probably means that's it. It's not happening. I reckon it's done. Probably going to be, yeah. Too dangerous to travel. Yeah, that's what people are saying. Yeah, I probably would. How difficult can it be to spell? Bro, I might have dyslexia. You don't know that. I'm actually just terrible at spelling. I am genuinely just terrible at spelling. I didn't see who you met yesterday, George. I'm guessing it's in the Discord, isn't it? What's happening with the Liverpool game? As you can see here, FPL Rockstar, who usually is the man in the know for the Liverpool game, has just said they need a rest. FPL Focal as well has just tweeted saying that Merseyrail have cancelled quite a few trains, and that is obviously the stuff that leads to this game being postponed, is trains being cancelled, blockages on lines, stuff like that. So yeah, I reckon it's a high probability that the Liverpool game's probably going in the bin, to be honest, guys. It is in the Discord. Cool, I'll go and have a quick check now, mate. Let me have a look. But yeah, it's looking highly likely, I think, that this Liverpool game is going. Dummy. Berbatov, fair, mate. Fair. Absolutely fair. That's a fair shout from you, George, meeting Berbatov. I don't think I'd probably go for Axel Diassi. As we saw with Colwell, there's going to be rotation within that Chelsea back line, so probably wouldn't touch it with a barge pole for me. But yeah, it's not looking good. Not looking good for that Liverpool game, is it? It does also mean the FPL deadline, by the way, moves to about 1:30. And obviously, I won't be here. I'll be at the Leeds game for that point. But yeah, it probably does mean that the deadline is going to massively move as well. But yeah, it's looking increasingly likely that the Merseyside derby is not going to happen. Seven-hour stream, bro. We ain't doing a 7-hour stream. Imagine my vocal cords after that one. I was going to roll, but if it's off, I need to bench Trent and Salah. Yeah. Likewise, I think that probably means we're going to be making moves this week as well, for me and my team as well. Mikolenko out, probably going to be for Kirkes then this week. And then we could just play Brian. But I think his date has been absolutely abysmal recently, hasn't it? Do we just give him one last chance at home? Do we just give him the one last one? Take 2 into next week? Enzo worth a shout. His date is pretty poo, but he is playing consistently. He is on XG divorce, obviously, if you didn't know. Yeah. Just bought in Trent yesterday. Mate, that's a stinger. That is a stinger. So Salah won't even play. He'll play in a double game week. Yes, that's correct, mate. He won't play this week. There will be a double game week at some point that, of course, he will go into. But yeah, interesting stuff on this this Saturday morning. Oh wait, it's never easy, is it? Never easy. Yeah, there we go as well. Merseyside derby has been postponed due to weather conditions. Again, another in the know account tweeting that one out as well. So yeah, it's not looking good for the Liverpool game being on today, is it? Everton's fault, point deduction pending. Yep, there we go. Everton versus Liverpool off. I'm going to go change the title. Let's have a look. YouTube Studio. Content. Live. There we go. That's now been saved. There we go. Bosh. Yeah, so it's looking ever so more and more likely that the Liverpool game is now dead and buried, to be honest. Done. Yeah, there we go. More and more accounts are tweeting it. We're just waiting for the clubs, obviously, to go and tweet it as well. So yeah, Liverpool versus Everton is off. It's off. It's not been officially confirmed, but a lot of the in-the-know accounts, they're all tweeting it. Yeah, United are only up the road, so that could be another game affected a little bit later today. Again, it is going to be on like weather conditions and stuff like that. Brentford are abysmal at defending, and he's actually got a pretty decent record against them. 2 games, 2 goals, 2 assists. And the last season, he got a goal and an assist as well. Off to spend minus 12 points because my bench is all injured. Oof. Is it worth taking a minus 4 if I can't field a full 11? Depends who you're bringing in for that minus 4. If it's a goalkeeper, probably not. But outfield players, yeah, I probably would say I want the full 10 in there. But yeah, ever so lightly. It is looking more and more likely that, well, I mean, all the accounts, all the big accounts that are pretty much in the know are pretty much tweeting it as well. That the game is going to be off. That means that the deadline as well is going to be pushed back till 1:30 as well. Unfortunately, I won't be live for that one. I imagine Golden Goal will be live as well, so make sure to go and check him out. I'll actually drop him a quick message, see if he's going live later, and then I'll push you guys towards him a little bit later. But we'll stay live for another hour. Obviously, help you guys out and stuff like that. But yeah, do just be wary that the FPL deadline now will be shifted to 1:30 as well. I'm just going to pin the message. FPL deadline move to 13:30. 13:30 for freeze, right? I think that's the pretty way to go for it. No fucking, you know, clickbait title from me. As soon as I saw Aintree was off, I went, right, that's it. They're going to call this game off. They're going to call this game off. There we go. As soon as I saw it, I went, right. They're calling this game off, aren't they? They're calling it off. As soon as I saw that. Yep, now we can start doing team reviews as well. So get those sent in. We'll get those sorted. But yeah, Salah is going to have a double game week. So obviously those that did keep their triple captain chip, oh boy, you guys are in for a real treat, aren't you? You guys are in for a real treat. But yeah, I imagine there'll be an update as well. Leeds, I mean, the weather outside is fine. Like, I really can't see there being a problem with the Leeds game being off. But of course, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I can't see there being a problem. If there is a problem, of course, I'll be back live for the next deadline. But I can't see it happening, to be honest. Not with the weather at the moment here in Leeds. it's pretty calm outside. There's not really any wind or anything like that. So yeah, I think we're fine in Leeds. Who's the best alternative for Smith Rowe, and what's your opinion about getting rid of Luis Diaz if the game is off? Yeah, I definitely probably would get rid of Luis Diaz if the game's off. Alternatives to Smith Rowe, probably going to be a Rodgers or a Semenyo for me personally, mate. When do Bournemouth play? Because this is now what I've got to think. Will that game go ahead? Like, do I make transfers or do I not make transfers? Because I could just play Aina, right? So let's sort the team out now with these games off. So yeah. Switch. In you go. Make captain. Make vice captain. Save. So that's how the team's looking right now without any transfers. Which isn't terrible. It isn't terrible. My thought process. I mean, that United game could go as well. I mean, you can, but mate, the accounts that are tweeting it out are very, very in the know, to be honest. It's not even just from the Liverpool side, it's from both sides as well. Yeah, like I said, you're not going to see it for probably a little bit, but the in the know accounts, they're all tweeting it here. Like, very much in the know. FPL Focal wouldn't put that out without strong knowledge of it. FPL Rockstar as well is another one. There's an Everton account that's been tweeting it as well. So, a lot of in the know accounts are obviously tweeting this stuff out. Someone then just saying, I'm not doing anything till the club tweets it. I think it'll probably be a matter of time. But let's wait and see. There we go. Jake's just confirmed it as well. Brother who works at Everton, and I know Jake's brother works at Everton, has said it's off. So there we go. Thank you very much for that update, Jake. Hope you're doing good, mate. But yeah, I know Jake's brother does work for Everton, and if he's saying it's off, it's off. It is off. So there we go. Yeah, like I said, guys, if you want to get your team sent in to me for the team reviews now, we can do a good batch of those as well. Yeah, it's gonna be not around the pitch themselves. It's never been around the pitch. It's all about public safety. So if there are obviously postponements and stuff like that. Hey lad, we said if that game got postponed, you were going for Evan Nielsen. No more Haaland time. Yeah, we'll do 2 team reviews at 8:45. We'll get a good batch of those in, and we'll do some team reviews around 8:45. So yeah, we'll get a good batch of those in now that the game has been called off. But yeah, lads, you can't go for Haaland when we were sat there saying, you know what? I do need the toilet though. I tell you that, I do need the toilet. Right, I'm actually going to have to go to the toilet very quickly. That has just sprung up on me. Obviously, if you enjoyed today's stream, like, comment, subscribe. Get your team sent to me as well. I'm just going to quickly nip to the loo for 5 minutes. Not 5 minutes, 5 seconds, sorry. And then I'll be back. So get those teams in. Get those questions sent in. But let's see. Let's see what happens. It's like a southeast northwest storm, Jake. I don't think it's going to hit Ipswich. So I reckon you're good. There you go. Right, we're back. We are back. I really needed that. Oh, it's off. Bring a bucket. Yeah, it was a piss, and then it upgraded. Sorry, it upgraded to a shit, unfortunately. Yeah, the game is postponed. David Ornstein just tweeted it. Sean's in the chat as well. Hello, Sean. Probably listening through the walls again, getting his FPL advice. As always, eh? As always. Right, we need to find a defender to go and bring in as well for this week. No Gandhi versus the wind. There we go. Everton have officially tweeted it as well. Today's Merseyside derby at Goodison Park has been postponed due to adverse weather conditions. So there you go. Off. Ornstein's tweeted it as well. Off. There you go. Binned. That, like I said, does mean that the FPL deadline is going to be moving as well. Evan Nielsen cap thoughts. I mean, Jake's got to go for it. Jake knows he's got to go for it. Yeah, it's officially off. It's officially off. Sean in the chat for the mad news. Getting in there. Right, well, we need to bring a defender in. We do need to be bringing a defender. Yeah, more worried about United later. I guess probably the best thing to do, mate, check what other events are in Manchester, and if they're getting postponed, that's probably the way I'd look at it. We looked at that Aintree got postponed in Liverpool, and that was for me the indication that they're probably going to postpone another big sporting event. So yeah, I'd probably have a look if there's anything around it. How long is the deadline now? I won't be live all the way up until the next deadline. I'm off to the Leeds game. But it will be at 1:30 now. The deadline will be pushed back because the next game is 3 o'clock. But yeah, no Liverpool game means the captaincy is pretty much wide open. It looks like most people are going to be going for Cole Palmer. Saka's also up there. Haaland, I think if you've got him this week, looks like a great option. And Watkins as well. Also an option. Maybe have a look if there's been like any train cancellations and stuff like that as well around Manchester. There you go, mate. That's probably what I'd do. That'd give you a good indication. Yeah, Saka's record against Fulham is pretty terrible as well. Salah will still score without a game. It probably would happen, wouldn't it? Salah's still getting himself a goal without a game. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. George reckons they're beating City today as well. Let's wait and see, George. Let's wait and see. Right, we've got to look at what defender I want to bring in for Mikalenko. Let's have a look. And then we've got a choice. Do we go Mbeumo or do we go Semenyo? I think I might keep Mbeumo. I think I might keep him. Yep, game's gone. Who am I looking to bring in? Well, we're going to need a defender in. And that was always the plan originally. So I think it is going to be Kirkez, because the next 5 are pretty good. Yeah, I think we're going to probably bring in Kirkez. Just making sure he rotates well with the other defenders that I've got in the team. Wolves have got Leicester that week, so that's fine. Who've Ipswich got? Newcastle, not great. Chelsea have got Everton. Who's my other defenders? Oh, so Aitner in there. It's just Konza we'd have to worry about. United away is not the worst fixture there in the world. Yeah, I think Kirkez is probably going to be the one then. No, you can't say that one, mate. Come on. How does it work now with FPL? They will push the deadline back till... Yeah, they'll push the deadline back till 1:30 because the next game isn't until 3. So they'll probably put that one out. And then I think after that, the Liverpool game will probably not get announced as like an update till probably next year once we find out a little bit more about FA Cup, Champions League progression and stuff like that. Oh, it's 100% going to mean a double game week. Mohammed, if you've still got your TC, double game week, Salah has got it written all over it. So yeah, exciting stuff. Maybe the mystery chip as well, with that coming into play, could also be a decent one. Could also be a decent one. So yeah, I reckon we're probably going to go Mykolenko in for Kirkes, play him instead of Aina, and just rock with that as a back line. Yeah, we were literally talking about double game weeks last night, and then look what's happened. Games have dropped. Games have dropped like flies. Imagine the United ones off as well. The people that still have TCs available would be cooking. Absolutely cooking. Big time. Yeah. Triple captain Salah is probably going to be the way, isn't it, really? Probably is going to be the way. I can hear some rain on my window. Please, Leeds game, don't be cancelled. I'd like to go to a game today. I want to put some content out. Robinson or Aina instead of in place of Trent. I'm not keen on either of them. The next few fixtures for both are terrible. I think Kirkes or maybe like a Van Heck might be a better one. Hey, look, the coin's here. Nobody's had a go on the coin yet, but you can have a go on the coin if you want. Gonna sell Mbomo in game week 17. Iwobi will be my new FPL GOAT. Love that. Yeah, I think it was always going to happen. There was always going to be a double game week that was always going to be additional to the rest, wasn't it? When a team reviews, they will be in 3 minutes. I'm going to watch Blood Brothers in Leeds tonight. Hope it's on. It has just started raining. I can hear it on my window. I don't know how bad that's probably going to be for the next few hours or anything like that. But in terms of when I woke up this morning, it hadn't really rained much last night. So maybe this is us getting the storm now, which is not great. Yeah, it says it's raining for a bit. Yeah, it's kind of just got like drizzly rain. But the heat map for the next few... It looks like the thing might actually miss Leeds. Like, it might just catch it a little bit. But it's probably going to catch more of, like, Stoke looking at this rather than Leeds, which isn't probably great for the United game. And is there anyone else who's thinking of captaining Haaland or Palmer? I think both are great shouts. Yeah, that team looks fine. Obviously, no Salah. Just remember that. The game now has been officially postponed. How much do I make annually? What are you chatting? What are you chatting? I've got Trent and Mika and Greaves on the bench. 1 free transfer. Mykolenko probably would be one I'd get rid of anyway. He was always one that was probably going to come out of the team this week. Just because... Look at those horrible, horrific fixtures coming up for Everton. Like, it doesn't even get good after the City game. They're not easy. That's not easy. That's not easy. That's not easy. Like, it's horrible. It's genuinely one of the worst runs I've ever seen. Yeah, we'll do it. Like I said, we're doing team reviews at 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute we're doing team reviews. I only have 3 players playing today. This is an epic fail. Oh, mate, I feel bad for you. Feel bad for you. Palace are always better second half of the season anyway. True. Thinking of selling Brennan Johnson for a -4. Who would you suggest? I've got Salah, Bowen, Palmer, and Isak and Saka. Is there anyone like Semedo's probably the only player you've not got there, or Brennan Rodgers? Rodgers. That's it. Is Bowen captain crazy? I think so. I think so. I've already got Konza. I'm not getting a second Villa defender in there. No way. We're not doubling up on the Villa defence. We're not going for it. Right, let's start reviewing some of your guys' teams then that have been sent in over on Twitter. Let's go down to the bottom so we don't miss anybody. Right. I'll send you my team now before the deadline stream because I saw the tweet. Bench dilemma, start Rodgers or João Pedro. I think I would just go João Pedro. Transfer Flecken for Kepa. Bournemouth have the best fixtures for a defensive point of view for the next 6 game weeks, ranked 5th for XG conceded so far this season. All good stuff then, mate. Obviously, Aitner is probably going to come in for Salah and Rodgers in for Trent. There you go. So you've got your benching cover sorted for the Liverpool game anyway. You're fine. Hey, Tom. 4 free transfers, 0 in the bank. Not sure what to do. Obviously, the big thing... Oh, he's deleted the tweet. I'm guessing he'll have posted it further back up. What do you think, Tom? I like it. I like it. Who have you gone for captain? Isak. Ooh. Okay, mega differential for captain. You've obviously got Palmer there that could be a decent shout, but I reckon the team's looking decent for this week, my friend. Hey, Tom. Loving the team with the Liverpool benchings. Any suggestions? You would be very welcome with a minus 4 free transfers. Yeah, mate. It has left you in a little bit of a sticky wicket position, hasn't it, really? If I was to go Mbeumo to anybody, it probably would be to somebody like a Semenyo. You can maybe upgrade your Brentford defender to Semenyo, and then obviously if Gabriel's benched, it gives you a decent option. Not Semenyo, Kirkez, sorry, mate. That could give you another option as well. Visser to Evan Nielsen could also be a decent shout. Isak potentially in there as well. Obviously, you'd have to free up a little bit of funds, maybe Mbeumo down, something like that. But yeah, there's just a few transfers. But I probably would say Van der Berg I'd upgrade to Kirkez. And if Gabriel then doesn't play, you've got a decent defender coming in. Timber in this game week and Isak in game week 16. Ooh. Timber in this game week, Isak 16. Yeah, I probably would be tempted with that. I mean, you could just play Lewis Hall if you really needed to. So you might not even have to make the Timber move, but I get it. I get the appeal of it. Hey, Tom, hope you're having a good day. Here is my team. 2 free transfers, 0 in the bank. Any transfer suggestions, or what are you thinking of getting Isak in and downgrading to someone? I don't mind Isak. I know he got benched, but he still had a pretty good season. I don't think I'd necessarily touch anything with this team. Chris Wood's probably more the problem with this team. I think Evan Nielsen could be a decent shout for a pickup in terms of that striker position. Son as well being benched. Again, probably want to get rid of him pretty soon. So yeah, they're probably your more bigger players to worry about than Nicholas Jackson. Chris Wood and Son for me. Clearly my team is washed, but what do you think I should do? I'm wondering about a free hit this week. No Salah, but obviously need to consider a free hit for the double game week. 1 free transfer, 2.3 million in the bank. Yeah, you're not in a great position, are you, really? Wood to Evan Nielsen, and maybe just play Brennan Johnson this week to get around it. Or you could do Semenyo in for that -4. Hope that Romero plays. Go for something like that. Could potentially be the way that you get out of this pickle, this little bit of a jam. Yeah, official confirmation. The game is off, by the way, if anybody has just joined the stream. The game is off. No goalkeeper. Whoops. Why Salah bench? The game is off, mate. The Liverpool game versus Everton is off. My son has triple Liverpool. Think I'm going to advise him a free hit. Yeah, I probably would recommend that as well. Phew, mate, that's a stinker. One free transfer. Probably going to be Mikalenko, isn't it? That's the one for this week. With that Everton fixture run really taking a turn as well. I think it is going to be Mikalenko that I would probably get out. Hi, I've got Flecken, Lewis, Aitner, Gabriel, Greaves, Mikalenko, Salah, Palmer, Saka, Semenyo, Johnson, Cunha, Raul, Jackson. Any transfer suggestions? Probably again going to be Mikalenko probably out. Gives you that little bit of cover as well. George has sent his team in. Ray, Gabriel, Aitner. Fair. I think you're fine, to be honest, George, mate. You could probably roll that this week. Probably roll that one. Yeah, McNeil out could also be a decent one. Have you got Semenyo or not? Yeah, McNeil to Semenyo could also be a very easy shout. I probably would say, if I had Haaland, I'd probably be captain him this week. Palmer second, Saka third. There you go. There's my choices for captain. Of course, the lucky coin is here if anybody wants a go on that one as well. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Of course, if you are new around here as well, make sure you're liking, subscribing, all that good stuff. Massively appreciated by myself as always. Like I said, we are trying to hit 11,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and it is only possible with your guys' amazing support. If you want to send me over your teams on Twitter at FPLTom_. Double Bournemouth, why not? They've got probably the best set of fixtures over the next 5 to 6. They've been really, really impressive. Beat Spurs, Liverpool and Arsenal this season. Bro, should I get Nicholas Jackson for Vissa for a -4? No. Vissa's home record is absolutely phenomenal. That's why he's getting one more week in my team. No need. I can play both now. There you go. The Liverpool game is actually just solving benching headaches, isn't it? That's all it's doing. Coin toss for captain, Palmer or Pedro. For you, my friend, we can do that one. Heads is going to be Palmer. Tails, Pedro. I said Pedro then. Tails. So you go in Pedro, my friend. You go in Pedro. What am I doing transfers? I'm probably going to hold fire a little bit. Just see how the next few kind of hours pan out a little bit before making any sort of moves. But at the moment, it's probably going to be Mikolenko for Kirkez. No worries, mate. We'll do another batch of those in a little bit. Why are people looking over Kluivert? I mean, most of his goals this season have come from penalties. That's why people are looking over Kluivert. There you go. Team this week, Verbergen. I went off before I did it. Team this week, Verbergen, Timber. Need to submit my soon so I can go to bed. I think you're fine, mate. I genuinely think that team is fine. As long as Gabriel plays, you should be alright. You should be alright. Should I get Saliba in for Gabriel? I would probably just hold fire. Like, it's whether or not you want to play in the Arteta mind games. But I think longer term, you're probably going to want Gabriel more. If you can bench him for this week or have, you know, something like that. Is the deadline postponed? It's probably more than likely going to get pushed back. That's my opinion. It's going to get pushed back to 1:30. I expect a tweet from FPL very soon. Thoughts on Cunha as captain? I think his data has been pretty abysmal for the past few weeks, so I probably wouldn't go near it. Probably would bench Mazraoui, potentially with that United game maybe being up in the air a little bit. It does mean that Liverpool and Everton will have a double game week. Yeah, I would probably say, if FPL say that the deadline has been stretched to 1:30, I would hold back on any sort of transfers for now. Yeah, I'd hold back on transfers for now. Solanke or Mbeumo, who must go this week? I mean, Solanke to Isak would be the perfect move for me. And Mbeumo, I'm just not overly keen with the other options that are out there. I mean, if you don't want to captain Palmer against your own team, Bowen might not be a bad shout for this week. Actually, I've got something on this. I have got something on this. Obviously, this is from 11ify, so make sure you go and check out their amazing website. Sorry, this is the next 5 game weeks, or 6 game weeks, should I say? Looking at projected goal involvements, and obviously, as you can see, Salah and Haaland top, Palmer in 3rd, Saka 4th. But on here, who was the player? Bowen, where's he for this week? 0.65. That puts him just behind Bukayo Saka for this game week. Watkins, interestingly, the top player for this week as well, with 0.82. I really, really found this a useful tool on their website last night. So, yeah. Are you going to do transfers on stream? No, I will not be doing my transfers on stream. Purely because I am off to a game myself a little bit later. I'm off to the Leeds game. So, yeah. Yeah. One of those. I'm off to the Leeds game a little bit later, so that's where I will be heading. So obviously the deadline's probably going to get pushed back to 1:30. I want to see if there's any other postponements before, of course, making any sort of moves as well. Is the Newcastle game off? I've not heard anything. No. Why is Saka not getting more captain shouts when he's got the better fixture than Palmer? It's because of the ropey Spurs back line that will be playing in that game. That's the reason why. And as you can see, Palmer's got better projected goal involvement here from 11-5, which is interesting. How about City defence? Not for me. I'm not going to touch it. It does mean a double game week for Liverpool. Luke the Nuke. There you go. Trying to see if I can hear rain still outside. I can't quite figure out if I can. But yeah, we might have potentially some more games that do, of course, go by the wayside. So do just be wary of that one. Keep yourself across everything. Looks like Manchester's getting hit pretty bad at the moment with rain and wind and stuff like that. So again, that might be potentially one. Am I from Leeds? I'm not from Leeds. I'm just going to the game today and I live in Leeds currently. So there you go. But yeah, I'm not from Leeds. I'm from Mansfield originally. There you go. Yep, we can review some more teams. We'll do another batch of team ratings in a little bit. Those people that have been asking me about Rodgers or Cunha in terms of projected goal involvement as well. If you look on here, Rodgers 0.66. Cunha not even to be seen on this list. So there's something to potentially consider. Love it, Shane. Love it, mate. Absolutely love it for you. It's always good when you get comedians liking your terrible jokes. Tom Mayer asked the FPL Tom Holy Coin, Haaland or Palmer. Yeah, you can, mate. We're going to go heads for Palmer, tails for Haaland, all right? It's heads, my friend. It's heads, which I believe was Palmer, if I'm not mistaken. Do you like the idea of Matoma and Gordon? I'm not a big fan of Matoma. I don't think his data is good enough for me to go there. And then Anthony Gordon apparently picked up a knock in the Liverpool game. And Eddie Howe said he's going to be fine, but I never trust Eddie Howe. So, yeah. I won't be doing league code ones. If you want to send me a team, just send it over on Twitter. Yeah. Who's the best alternative for Joe Gomez? I do think it is going to be a Bournemouth defender for me, personally. Probably is going to be somebody like a Kirkaz. No worries, Andy, mate. No worries, Andy. Hopefully the mega hauls do follow. Hopefully so. Anyway. Apparently it's raining quite heavy in Birmingham. Oh. Oh dear. Maybe that Villa game's looking a bit dodgy now as well. Uh-oh. It'll be played in a completely different game week. Yeah, it'll be played in a completely different game week. I captain Jackson over Palmer. What do you think? Up to you, mate. Go for it. I still think Jackson's still a good shout. I think just the way that Palmer is so instrumental for that team and everything comes through him that I think I probably would go for him. Yeah, my backline is going to be so ropey this week, isn't it? Apparently it's chucking it down in Birmingham. Oh, my days. If that Villa game goes as well, my team is cooked. Honestly cooked. One to maybe think about there. Biggest liars for FPL, Eddie Howe, Arteta, and then Wonder. Yeah, they're some of the worst ones, aren't they? Kevin Schade or Liam Delap? Oh, no. Never Kevin Schade. Don't go near Kevin Schade. I had him. Brother's a fraud. And Liam Delap, yeah. I'd probably go keeperless, Jake. I think I'd go keeperless. I don't think there's much point in it. It's not a doubt. It's just raining quite heavy in Birmingham, apparently, according to people. So, yeah. Could you give your best free hit team for this week? Yeah, I can, actually. let me let me get FPL team up 1 second. Let me just switch you over to the betting market one, so you can have a look at that. Let me get FPL.team open. Let's build a thingy. Hang on. FPL.team. Hey, there we go. Just need to scroll it down a little bit for you guys. But yeah, we'll build a thing. Let me just get rid of all these pop-ups and stuff like that. Right, I'd have probably Raya. I'd probably at the moment have Timber. Kirkes. Obviously be chucking Haaland in here. Evan Nielsen. Maybe Rodgers goes in like that. Something like that. And then bench-wise, you're probably picking up defenders that have decent fixtures. We need to get rid of a little bit of money. Not too much money, though. We can get rid of Salah, and we can pretty much get anybody in the game. So somebody like maybe like a Bruno. But again, if that game's... that game might go... A Bowen? Yeah, I probably would put a Bowen in there. So maybe something like this. What do you reckon, chat? Something like that as a free hit? That's just roughly off the top of my head. Deadline stays at 11. Where have you seen that? Where have you seen that? Have FPL tweeted that? We'll have a look at some more ones in a minute. Oh, FPL game week deadline remains at 11. Oh my days. Remains at 11 o'clock. That's absolutely ridiculous. That. Yeah, they must not have the tech team in place. Deadline remains at 11. Oh my days. Jesus. All right. Well, we better get those transfers made then. But yeah, this is the sort of thing I probably would be looking at in terms of a free hit if I was to play one this week. Something like that. I reckon I probably would captain Haaland out of that as one as well. But yeah, that's probably what I would work with. Something maybe like that as a free hit. It would just become a double game week, so it would go into another week a little bit further down the line. So yeah, there you go. That's what will happen with that one. Should we transfer out Salah for Haaland? No. You're going to want Salah long term. No worries, mate. No worries. Happy to answer any questions you do have. I'm going to sort my team out and then I'll be back. Hit that like button on your way out. Yep. Yep. Cool. So yeah, that's probably what I'd do with a free hit if I was to do one this week. Something similar to that. Them not moving the deadline is very, very dicky for me personally. Can I edit this message? I'm going to unpin it. There we go. I'm unpinning that message. Looks like a lot of you are going to be going for the Palmer cap though. Still, but yeah, they're not moving the deadline. I'm guessing they just don't have whoever's meant to be in that day sorting it. So yeah, there we go. Sending that free hit team straight to the kid. Nice. When will I be back live? I'm going to be live now. There you go. I think if I had Gabriel, I'd probably keep him. Why is the Liverpool game postponed? Weather. Yeah, the not moving the deadline is really, really shit. It is really shit from FPL, to be honest. Yeah, pretty honky from them, but it is what it is, I guess. They probably don't have the right people they need in the office to be making that move, so yeah, it's one of those, I guess. One of those, I guess. But yeah, I thought they'd have done it. So that means my transfer is probably going to be Kirkes for Mikalenko. And then take 2 into next week again, I guess. I think that's what we're going to do. No, it's not going to be worth taking a hit for Salah to get Haaland in for 1 week. It's just not going to be worth it. Because you're going to want to have Salah in next week. I wouldn't have Gabriel just with him being a doubt. Watkins as well is also a decent shout up front. I'd probably rather have Watkins than Bruno. Very good shout. Oh, the Liverpool game is windy and it's off. There you go. I have Ahmed or Antonio. Which one should I start? Probably go Ahmed, mate. Probably go Ahmed. I think we had a few people send me their teams in on Twitter, so we'll quickly have a look at some of these. Planning on rolling my free transfer with the Liverpool game being postponed. Yeah, I mean, I think you sent me a bench as well. Yeah, you've got decent bench cover, so you should be fine. FPL Tom, rate it. Who the hell is Hill? And I think Jackson should be in here. I play Jackson over Ahmed every day of the week. Yeah, I play Jackson over Ahmed every single day of the week. Yeah, probably going to be the Villa game. The Brighton game's looking decent. The Bournemouth game as well. The derby will not get moved to tomorrow. No, the derby won't get to move to tomorrow. They would have had all the policing sorted and everything like that. So they won't be able just to shift it like that, especially with like crowd trouble. Still probably going to have some issues from this today in terms of like transport and stuff like that. And it also feels like, as well, Liverpool Champions League arrangements and stuff like that midweek. So yeah, it's not going to get moved tomorrow. It'll just be binned and probably paid next year at some point. Yeah, I definitely think if I had Haaland, captaincy would be on the big man this week. It really, really would. Salah perform for Palmer for 1 week. Now that one's a little bit more tempting, but I think. But I think you'd want both, wouldn't you? You can just type it out in the chat if you want, Neil, mate. We'll pick it up. We will pick it up. But yeah, Liverpool game gone. Start Garnacho or sell for Rodgers? Probably would sell. Oh, I've got free transfers. Maybe then, mate. If you're going to captain Palmer, then that move makes sense. But maybe, you're probably going to have quite a bit of built-up value in Mohamed Salah, and it's going to cost you quite a lot of money to get him back in. That's the only thing I would say on that one. No, it'll be put into a different game week and become a double game week. There you go. Probably look to upgrade that bench then, to be honest, because the Liverpool players you are going to want longer term. That's why you've got them. But yeah, I can't believe they've kept the FPL deadline at 11. That's scandalous, really. That is scandalous. Oh, did you hear that? That was a loud one. I didn't expect it to be able. Yeah, Watkins is also a decent shout. I think he's on the poll somewhere. Palmer's leading the way. Watkins on 10%. So yeah. Yeah, just bench the Liverpool players. My bench is full of Liverpool players. Whoops. Wan-Bissaka, Ryan Aït-Nouri or Kirkes. Kirkes for me. I couldn't end up with minus points. Oh, mate, it was a ring stinger. It really, really was. I'm glad you guys heard it. I'm currently on my bulk and it's like, yeah, a lot of toilet time. Let's put it that way. Yep, have Salah on the bench. I wouldn't be transferring out because you want him next week and you've probably got quite a lot of built-up value in him. And Buemo and Lewis to Timber and Semenyo for free. Yeah, I like both of those moves. I'd be for that. Saka or Palmer for cap? I'm going with Palmer, and I think a large majority of the game will be going for Palmer. I think if you've got Haaland, Haaland's the best one. No, I doubt we're going to get anything. Like I said, the way that I knew the Liverpool game was going to be off was they cancelled another big event. So let me quickly have a look, right? I'm just going to open the Racing Post and see if there's any meets round at Birmingham. Did I delete it? Fuck, I might have deleted it. Give me a second. I'm just going to quickly check the Racing Post. See what meets are happening today. Racing Post. Racing Post. Here we go. What races we got today? So Aintrie's been abandoned. Chepstow's been abandoned. Wolverhampton's still ahead. So that to me would suggest that the Villa game probably should go ahead if Wolverhampton's still there. So yeah, I think Sandown subject to a second thingy. Yeah, nothing about Wolverhampton, so looks like that could go ahead. There you go. Bet you didn't expect me to be looking at horse racing on an FPL deadline stream, did you? But there we are. That's the world we're living in at the moment. And Buemo to Rodgers to get Visser/Isak next week. Yep, that's fine. I like that. I like that. Salah out for Haaland for a -4? Nope. Any City mids worth a punt? No. Yeah. If they don't play, they just get subbed out automatically. I don't know. Romero is not predicted to start. I've not seen him in the predicted lineups. So yeah, I don't think he'll start. Do I do Isak, Matoma instead of Wood and Buemo this week, or Strand and Saka and Gomez next week? I think I'd probably go the one this week. But then Saka's pretty tasty, isn't he? Saka is pretty tasty. KDB worth a look? Potentially, you know. Potentially. Best Barco replacement? Jesus, I forgot that man even existed. Forgot that guy even existed. I'd keep Cunha because they got Southampton and Ipswich, I believe, the week after. Yeah, Wolves are away. They're away at West Ham. Ignore. The thing I was looking more for Wolves is obviously it's not too far from Birmingham. So again, we might have a case of it gets postponed in Birmingham because of the weather near and around the surrounding areas. So yeah, that was my kind of thought process on that one. If they don't play, then the bench players just come in. There you go. Simple as that. I think if your team's like you're genuinely desperate for a free hit, then go for it. Otherwise, I probably would just say try and get a team together for this week. Don't worry about it too much. How much does XG does Matoma create? Not an awful lot. His underlying data is pretty poor, to be honest, mate. Yeah, it's not great. Maybe KDB might be the one. Kirkez, that's the one that I'm going for this week. Midfielder. I'm really struggling to back these midfielders. Maybe like a Bowen, Semenyo, someone like that. Will Porro start? Yeah, I think Porro will start. I don't know if... I probably wouldn't be taking either of those players out for Cunha this week, to be honest, mate. Probably leave it as is. Yeah, I probably would leave it as is. Storm Dora live from Birmingham Airport, by the way, is something that's just popped up on my YouTube. So we're gonna give that a quick check. Gloucestershire. Okay, I've not. I don't think they're racing today. I've not seen them. They weren't on the race thing. It doesn't look overly windy at Birmingham Airport. We're gonna wait for see if the plane lands. Is it worth transferring out Haaland this week? Definitely not. What are you doing? Is the Liverpool game off? Yep, confirmed by the clubs and stuff like that. Yeah, I want to see how these planes take off, and then that might give me a bit of a more barometer for Birmingham. But it looks alright. It looks alright. It does look a bit windy, but not like to the extent where it's probably going to be called off. I would prefer Semenyo. Please, my friend. Jesus, you are getting... Someone please get this guy out of here. No need to spam like that, my friend. You can go on a fat mute for that one. Jesus. Yeah, bye. There we go. It's hammering with rain here, and I need to go to the shop. For the energy drinks, extreme first world problems, big time. No other ones of yet. Ask my dad, he knows some people at the villa. Cool. It's pretty chill in Manchester. Occasionally get gust. But yeah, I think it's usually going to be, if we're seeing like train cancellations, if we're seeing stuff on the tracks and stuff like that, that's when they'll start getting rid of it. Who's the best captain? I think it is going to be Palmer, Saka, Haaland if you've got him. I think Watkins is a decent option. I do think he's a decent option. Cheers for sending me a team, Jake. Let's go and have a look. Let's go and have a look, mate. Right, here we go. Jakey boy sent me his team. Option 1, Salah out, Saka in. Game week 16, Haaland, Jones out, Salah, Isak in. Option 2, Jones, Haaland out, Saka in. No hits with either option. 1 keeps Haaland option. I don't know if I'd do Salah out though, because I feel like you're just burning a transfer. I get you want Saka in there, but... yeah. And I wouldn't want to take Haaland out. I think he's the best captain option if you've got him. I really don't like either move. No, I really don't like either move, to be honest, lad. I think you'd be better just getting a Curtis Jones replacement, whacking them in instead of Salah, or getting rid of Robinson and putting in a defensive replacement. But yeah, I don't know if I like those. I don't know if I like that. And I think Haaland as well, the time might have passed to potentially get rid of him. Where is he? There he is. Because the fixtures, right? Yeah, you probably don't want him there, but 18 and onwards, you're probably going to want him for that run. Then back out, then back in. I don't know. Just something to think about. But I don't like the move you suggested, for me personally. But if you want to go for it, mate, you go for it. Oh, there we go. The game's just updated. So now Salah and Mykolenko don't have anything. I think Kirkes could be a decent one. Obviously, he's the one I'm quite bullish on this week as a defender. I mean, if you fancy a Wolves striker to do well this week, then it's not the worst option in the world. But I think I probably would be looking at somebody like a Palmer. What players to target for a wild card? A wild card this week, bro, is not looking good, is it? How much money have you got in the bank, Jake? How much money have you got in the bank? Oh. Let me know. Play Vandenberg or Greaves. Oh my god. Probably Vandenberg is the way I'd go with that one. Yeah, probably Vandenberg. Let me just quickly check that he's in this lineup. None, so it's either a 4.7 or Robinson or a 5.2 Jones. There's no real good midfielders, is there, at that point? So I reckon you're probably looking at a defender then. And I don't think you want to go triple Bournemouth. So, jeez. Yeah. I mean, you could just play Lewis Hall, right? You could just play Lewis Hall. Not the worst idea. Like, you were quite keen to play Lewis Hall, if I'm not mistaken, right? Let me get that team back up. Oh, he's already playing. He's already playing. Ignore me. So, yeah, he's probably going to be a Brighton, a Bournemouth defender. Yeah. Crikey. Yeah, that's probably where it's going to be at. A Brighton or a Bournemouth defender. And then the midfield options are Pants. Enzo? Like, it's just all niche, isn't it? Yep, Salah's 100% in another game week. As you can see here now, it's just a blank, isn't it? Yeah, if you fancy Jackson this week, I think he's a fine option to go for in terms of captaincy. I do think he's a fine option to go for if you want to go down that route. Thoughts on Bowen as cap? Not for me personally. I do think it is going to be a Palmer, a Watkins, a Haaland, a Saka are probably going to be your best options for this game week. Strand Larson or Cunha? I think Cunha is more of the main man, to be honest. So I would prefer to go for Strand Larson. Action Jackson got the Hattie against 9 men, though. He did, and then they just started playing that stupid high line. I saw, Jamie, you sent me your team. Not sure if I should play Flappy instead of Flecken or just go for the guaranteed save points. I reckon go the guaranteed save points. That's probably what I'd do with that one. Hey Tom, do I add Matoma and Isak or Watkins and Rogers, Semenyo or a 5 point... There's so many options there, mate. I think Watkins is probably going to be a more shorter term one. And I reckon the Isak move will probably be better longer term. So I probably would go with that one. Yeah, I think that's what people are forgetting. They're probably just seeing this as a 1 week thing. And seeing like, right, Salah's not playing, I'm going to sell him. You've probably got quite a bit of money built into Salah if you've literally had him since game week 1. I know I have. There's a lot of value in Salah. What players to target is probably going to be Bournemouth games. It's probably going to be Brighton fixtures. Arsenal have a decent run coming up. You would want some Liverpool in there, like Salah. I think has to be in there. But yeah, Fabianski or Sanchez. I think I probably would go Fabianski, but my God, it's going to be tight on that one. Sean Dyche statement, utter woke nonsense. Yeah, 100% in agreement. 100% in agreement on that one. Where is it, mate? I can't answer everybody's questions, unfortunately. If you get it in. Probably go João Pedro. He doesn't have better fixtures than Isak. That's completely delusional. He's got a better fixture this week, but Isak longer term's got better ones. Cool, mate. We'll go and have a look. Captaincy this week, biggest decision. Currently on Isak. Nice, okay, differential. Start Hall or Colwell. I mean, Brentford always score at home, but I can see that Chelsea game being ridiculously high scoring. Let's have a look at the betting markets for that one, mate. Betting markets, so it's a 21% versus a 17%, so take that, maybe that small percentage. Who should I buy? Probably Kirkez. I'm going strong on Kirkez, but he is a player I will be bringing in this week. He is a player I will be bringing in this week. Neil's team. Let's have a look at this one then. Yeah, I don't think I would. I don't think I would. Yeah, I think you're good. I think you're good. Yeah, I think that team's fine. I'm going to go Captain Saka, got a feeling. If you've got a feeling, mate, go for it. No problems with that. Semenyo or Rodgers? Probably Rodgers. Who should I play from these 6? Cunha, Jackson, Watkins, Isak. I mean, if I've got to bench anybody there, it probably is going to be like a Visser or a Cunha. Yeah. How many transfers have I got? I've got 2. Yeah, I'm going to do my transfers before I wrap this stream up. I'm going to do Mikalenko up to Kirkez. There you go. That's the plan for that one. Yeah, I'm also tempted to do the Kirkez one and then just roll. Like, there still could be other postponements, but I doubt it. I feel like we maybe would have heard something by now, but yeah. Done. Jackson locked in for cap. Nice, mate. Nice. Jacob Murphy. Oh my days, no. No, not Jacob Murphy, please. Would you rather have 2 Arsenal defenders or 1 Arsenal, 1 Liverpool? I think I'd have one of each, you know. I genuinely think I'd probably have 1 of each. Yeah, I think 1 of each would probably work a little bit better. Yep, we'll have a quick review of your team. Yeah, looks completely good to me, mate, for this week. Obviously, you could do Solanke to Isak would probably be the move, or Jackson going forward. But yeah, depends what you need for this week and how many transfers you've got. Semenyo or Iwobi for the future? I think with Bournemouth's fixtures for the next 5, I probably would lean more towards him. That's probably the way I'd go with that one. Just replied to your tweet. Cool. Let me have a look if it's come through. Yep, there we go. I focused on my head-to-head matchups, and my opponent has 0 Liverpool players while I have 3 and only 2 players on my bench cover. My question is, should I transfer out my Liverpool players to field 11 or opt for a free hit? I don't think you want to sell the Liverpool players, so I'd probably be opting for a free hit. Yeah. Cash it is then. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. You know when he scores now though, Jacob Murphy, we're absolutely cooked. Like I'm gonna get absolutely rinsed for that one. Yeah, I think Rodgers in for Smith Rowe makes the most sense. Oh, Visser to Evan Nielsen. It is tempting. It is tempting, but I think with Visser's home record, we're gonna leave Visser in. Who's a good replacement for Mikolenko 4.5 and below for this week? Good question. Good question. Unfortunately, you've just missed out on the Kirkes price rise, but he would have been one. I think they've got another one at 4.5 though, a Bournemouth defender, so that could be worth looking at. Brighton, any defenders from there? They've got some decent fixtures coming up. West Ham, maybe. I'd stay off your Twitter DMs, bro. I'll get just pure abuse, won't I? Would you transfer in Bowen or Semenyo for Mbeumo or roll the transfer? I'm gonna roll, just because I feel that transfer is probably going to be more useful next week, and I'm not overly keen on the options for this week. I'm just not. Just not for me. Right, guys, I am going to end the stream here today. I've been live since pretty much 7:30. I am off to a game at 12:30 as well, so I'm going to leave it here. If Golden Goal is still live, feel free to fully go and check him out. Absolute legend, as always. I think he's still live looking at this. Yeah, he's still live, so go and check him out. Head over to his Twitter, over to his stream as well. Tell him you got sent by me as well, and go and give him some love and support. But I'm going to go and head to the game that I'm off to today. Go and do some filming for the second channel. So, yeah, all good stuff. Right, guys, like I said, good luck, everybody, this game week. I'm just going to quickly make my transfer before I go. We are going to do... Where is he? Mikolenko out. Kirkes in. Is he playing 90 pretty much every game? Yeah, he's meant to be good. In he comes. Lebosch, confirm. And then we're going to play him instead of Aina. And just like that, that is how the team is looking for today. So there you go. That's the team for this week. That's how we're lining up. There's a raid function on YouTube. I don't know where it is though, mate. I don't know where it is. I don't know where it is, and I don't know how to do it. Yeah, but yeah, please feel free to go and check out Golden Goals stream. Go and give him some love, support. And like I said, I will be back. But I'll be back on Tuesday for the thingy stream, the Champions League stream. But yeah, I'll see you guys there. Bye-bye.